Hey everybody, it's David Bradley here, training facilitator and coach with Grant Cardone. I'm coming at you today with another Coach Call Nugget. Today's nugget comes from my guy Roddy over at Fortress. Now, who is Fortress? And just in case you're wondering, their slogan, I love their slogan, is working hard to push your business forward. We keep you going. What do they do at Fortress? I'll tell you. Fortress specializes in functional clothing for the food industry, especially if a freezer is involved. So if you are a restaurant with a deep freeze and you got people in there a long time, if you've got a giant warehouse, you need jackets, you need gloves, you need undergarments, you need stuff to keep your people warm. If that's you, my guy Roddy over at Fortress is the guy to reach out to. So you can head on over to fortress.com, fortress.com for more information about that company if you fit that demographic. Now, check out what Roddy said though, because what he said was amazing. So today we're talking about, in my coach call with these guys, we're talking about following up with customers, right? How do you do that, right? How do you call a customer back after they said, stop calling me? Right? Now, if you're in sales, you know someone said that to you, right? Okay. So Roddy was talking about an experience that he had where he got that, but then he called back anyway. I'm like, and he closed the deal. That's the most important piece of this thing. Called back anyway, and he closed the deal. So I asked him, how do you do that? And here's what he said. He says, number one, I'm sold on my product. I know what I have works. I know what I have helps. Number two, and this one is always going to be easier said than done. Number two is do not, under any circumstances, take it personally. Just assume that the client, this is what he says, just assume the client's having a bad day, give them a little bit of breathing room, give them a little bit of space, call back. Try again. That's number two. Number three, full pipeline, right? As Grant says, as Grant teaches, the solution to all problems in sales is a full pipeline. And when you have a pipeline that is chock-a-block full of opportunity, then you are willing to blow the deal. You're willing to go there. Why? Because you're sold on your product, and there's a pretty good chance this guy's just having a bad day. So why wouldn't I try again? And the reason I'm going to try again is I know that if this one doesn't work, I got all these other opportunities lined up. So number three, full pipeline. Fourth and final, massive goals. Have goals so big that this problem pales in comparison. You got these big, fat, juicy goals and dreams that are driving you forward and are positioning you to do what? Be willing to get a little bit uncomfortable. Step outside of your comfort zone, your gut saying don't do it. I don't want to get yelled at again, right? You got yelled at me, stop calling me, man, right? I have to call you back, sir. I need to. Why? I'm 100% sold on my product and my company, and I know what we have and what we do works for you, and I know it will help you. And it would be treasonous almost of me to not take a shot and to not keep following up. Okay, this says more about them than it does about you. Remember that. Okay, and that means what? It means I just didn't take it personal. I got a big fat pipeline, and I got some big fat juicy goals and dreams. Those are the four ways to follow up with somebody and to call somebody back after they did what? Said, hey, leave me alone, man. Stop calling. The number one rule of selling. If you know what the number one rule of selling is and how it applies to what I just talked about, leave that in a comment below. And if you're a manager and you have a sales team, how many salespeople do you have right now? Think about that number for a second. Then think about how many deals you think your salespeople might be missing because they're not experiencing sales training with Grant Cardone, Cardone University, and a weekly coaching session where a guy like myself works with your team to help them increase sales volume, profitability, while lowering extraneous costs like turnover, that's costing you money right now, and expanding your market share. How do we do that? We'd love to have a short 3 to 5 minute discovery call with you to tell you how we've already helped over 10,000 companies and small businesses with Cardone University increase sales volume and profitability 15 to 30%. We can do this in as little as 90 days. Test me on it. Email me at david@grantcardone.com. That's david@grantcardone.com, or call this number, 310-777-0352. Hey, thank you for watching this week's Nugget. It was a little bit longer than normal, so I appreciate you staying. And be great, as Grant says, because nothing else pays.